Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord build from Fanhome with part 103. We are starting on the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord's left leg and we are rapidly approaching our final here. Well, with less than 20 stages to go. We can see the end in sight. The Zords are certainly coming together now. So let's get this opened and take a look at what we are doing with this issue. Amazingly, there is not a single screw in sight. So no doubt this will be just putting a couple of bits together and leaving them until the next stage. First up is this connecting piece, and just take and push into place one of our absorbers or whatever they are. As always, as far as it will go. There we go. That's one. This piece of the leg is actually made out of die-cast metal. The rest is ABS plastic. This will come and sit. And there is a lip on this. The lip you want facing up, and this will then come and rest into the joint like so. There we go, like that. And then there is this cover which comes over like so. No. Yes. That comes and rests like that. That goes to one side. And then we are on to part 104. And to make up for the lack of screws in the previous issue, we get 2 bags of a whole bunch of screws. Okay. 1, 3. First up is our joint. This comes and connects with this piece like so, apparently, and then 4 PWM screws. Says maybe. might be find it's best to hold this against the table or whatever surface you're working on, so that you can push down on the absorber or the joint or whatever you refer to it as, and screw in the screws without it pushing away. That's that. Get rid of that screw. Then turning this over, this little piece will come and rest in here somehow. Okay, so what you'll see is this has got a lip with an indent in it. There are two indents there. This one slides between the further of the two. It won't fit there, so it's literally just going to go in there. The exact pinpoint of this isn't exactly clear on the instructions. It does point down, but it's almost pointing to the indent resting on that first lip, which isn't quite correct. Next we take this piece and no, we actually need to bring in our assembly from the previous issue. This piece comes to rest on here, and you want this lip facing towards the connector here or whatever it is. Oops. And then bring in this piece with it resting like that. Then bring this piece over and try not to lose our connector here. Okay. It's going to take a little bit of lining things up because this wants to connect with that. This piece obviously doesn't want to stay in, it keeps coming out, which is an annoyance. go. So that's those two pushed together, and screws will go here and here. Let's get rid of the spare screw. One. One. And two. Then this comes over and covers things here. So it just comes down. Like so. It doesn't mention anything about glue, so I'm going to leave that. Next, in the left leg is part 105. Yeah, another piece of die-cast metal which is wrapped in cellophane for some reason. With another piece there. Right, we get 3 baggies of screws, 1 set of PWB screws, which I believe are those ones. A set of KB screws, which I believe are these black ones. And a set of PWMs, which are these. There we go. There's that. Okay, so the first thing to do is take these pieces, which I assume are the toes, presumably, and the what I presume is the foot piece. Yes, they're claws to the left foot, and they come over like so, and then they will be fixed in place with 3 of the PWB screws, which are the small ones. Okay, so doing these one at a time. I have to say I'm a little surprised we're gluing these in rather than, we're screwing these in rather than gluing them on in place. I'm not complaining. I think screwing them in is definitely a better option, as they're more likely to stay and not snap. What's also strange is the toes, or the claws, or whatever you want to call them, are an ABS plastic. The actual foot is die-cast metal. Why these couldn't be moulded as part of the foot altogether, I'm not too sure. It seems like if you're moulding part of the foot in the die-cast, couldn't the claws be moulded in as well? I don't know. Then with those assembled, we bring in our foot piece, and this will connect over like so, and using two of the PWMs, the silver ones, I'll put one on, and then I'm going to put the other on, and then I'll look at screwing them properly into place. This one, of course, so the inner one is at an awkward angle, and you're going to want to make sure you're using a thin enough screwdriver to be able to press against the foot to be able to get this screwed in without going in at an angle. And then we can do the other one. Both of those in as tight as possible. There does seem to be a slight gap between here and the claws. I assume that is intentional, because obviously it fits flush against this part, but then has the gap there, so I assume that's intentional and is fine. Next we get what I believe are the shin covers. Okay, so a whole host of shin covers. Yep. Okay. So first up, you need 105 and 106. 105 okay, so these are two shin covers. This one, the difference between this is slightly thinner with some indents, presumably for lips or catches, and then the thicker one here is a gloss. It's more of a gloss colour and appears to have the lips. I'm assuming, based on the problem is the quality of the picture printings doesn't make it 100% clear which is which, but logically this one appears to be 105.5 and 105.6. You can sort of, no, that's 105.6, that's 105.5. You can sort of see the catches there. So it appears that we take the trim and place the trim on the inside here, and then take the outer shell. No, that cannot be right. Was this going over? No. It's going under. Is that how it's going? Excuse me. Okay, so carefully connect the shin cover to the shin cover as shown. Then align the two small soles on the shin cover with two screws posts in, yeah. Right. It's confusing because once again the instructions are wrong and they are labeling things incorrectly and backwards. Okay, so this is labelled as 105.4, 105.5, 105.6. The instructions tell you to take 105.5, which is this one, take the black trim, place that like that, and then take 105.6 and put that over like that. Well, they don't fit at all. And then the instructions tell you to take these two bits, take 105.4 and screw that down like that. So that's impossible. However, so the logic is that you take this piece as the outer trim, you take the skirting and place that, no, sorry, I've done that wrong. So you take the inner trim, the skirting and the shin, and that goes together like that. Then with that upside down, you take the inner skirt and push those together so it's essentially 3 layers, and then you screw in with 2 KB screws. There it is. Then there we go. That's those done. Then with this comes in and you take your leg piece. Then with this folded about yay, this will come in and screw over like that. No, it will come in and oh. Right, despite this screw not having been screwed in all the way, you can see it's applying pressure on the tip. So it's almost like the layers aren't thick enough for the screw. The rest seems okay. And that's been tightened, but that's definitely, so just be mindful of that. Right, this will come and screw in like this. Yes, because then this will come up as a cover. And then we take one more of our KBs. This will come down and screw in like so. Presumably, yeah, that then pushes up. And I then assume that hides the leg connectors. Then we take our foot and with the shin facing towards the feet, it aligns, and we screw with 2 of our PWMs into screw positions 1 and 2. There we go. That's those done. Get rid of our spare screws. Next is left leg part 4 with 106. Move this plastic to one side. Take out, just empty those all out, that's easiest. And then we have 2 small baggies of screws, a set of PWMs. Peel here. PWMs. Can't get one of them out. Come on, there's good go. There it is. That's that PWM. And our PWBs. Okay. Here we take the other bit of the foot, which is in the cellophane. Get rid of that staticky cellophane. And this connector comes in like so. So, and there is a screw port in there and there, which take the silver PWBs. There's that. Then we take the base of the cover, and this fits this way by appearances. It appears to go in like that. Yes, so this will only fit in the one way. The picture does show it to go in this way, which is correct, but I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a way you could sort of accidentally put it in the wrong way, but no, you can only put it in the one way. And oh, sugar. Something to be careful of when installing it so it doesn't flick everywhere is once it's pushed in, you also want to push back a bit so you can see it's level with the foot itself. Otherwise it tends to come forward a bit and catches a bit of a lip. Then we bring in our other half of the foot, and this will line up with everything supposedly. That's it. There we go. And again. There we go. You want to push until everything clips into place, and you want to make sure that foot cover is pushed back as far as it will go. And take 2 PWB screws to screw them into place. And then it will be installing the 2 covers. One, then one more. No, one hole. That push it there. Then it's just a case of taking our covers and clipping everything into place. So that will come over the foot, and you see there's the bigger lip which wants to come down between the foot. Now this is reasonably easy to pull off, but I'm going to leave it for now. Eventually I may put some glue there to keep it in place. Then clip 1 and clip 2. And that is the first half of our foot done. So we get some rotation, ankle movement there. There's no rocker or anything, it's literally just the one way. Then presumably for transformation this will drop down and this will be movable so that you can then bring that onto one of the Zords, I presume, but we'll obviously see towards the end. I'm going to leave that there for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay safe and may the power protect you.